G'day, it's Stephen here with some tips on what you should be taking on your first wet canyon. Right, so it's after Christmas, you've ate too much, you've drunk too much at New Year's Eve, and now the holidays are here and you're running out of ideas what to do and you're a bit bored. But you've had this friend who's been at you for years to try and do a canyon. So now you've decided to do a canyon and you're not quite sure what you're going to take with you. So you're obviously looking around the web and you found this excellent site. So here's some ideas of what you should be taking. The first thing to remember is if you've got electronics like car keys, your mobile phone, whatever, you need to keep them dry. The car key can be left at the car with a key safe, which is very good, but if you have a remote entry, the key has to be placed inside an aluminium foil, then inside the key safe, otherwise your car will be left unlocked. Your phone, if you take it with you, that needs to be placed in some form of hard case, waterproof. You can buy small little cases which are relatively cheap and they keep your phone dry, but they also stop it from getting knocked around when your pack gets thrown into the water, when it gets thrown around and hauled over rocks. So they're worth the investment and they'll keep your phone safe. You won't be able to use your phone anywhere in the canyon, so it just gets packed away until you get back up on the walk out. You're going to need a pack to carry all your gear with you. If you haven't got a dedicated canyon pack and it's your first canyon, I doubt you would. So what you want is an old pack, just an old backpack, something that's got a few holes in it, or you don't mind putting a few holes in. It might sound dumb having holes in a pack which is going into the water, but it doesn't matter how good your pack is, it's going to fill up with water, and when you stand up, you're going to be carrying half the Wild Gambia or whatever canyon you're doing in that pack, and you're going to get tired very quick and you're going to get sick of having to empty the water out. A few holes in the bottom will let the water drain out and make life a lot easier. So just any old pack will do excellent. You'll need a way to keep your clothes dry, and the best way is dedicated dry bags, but it's your first canyon, a couple of garbage bags, just double bag everything, and that will keep all your gear dry. And anyway, they're going to get wet on the walk out because your pack's going to be wet and it's going to drip all the way back to the car, and that's why you leave a change of clothes back at the car. The next thing you'll be wanting to know is what type of shoes to wear. Canyon shoes, but really any type of sand shoe, any type of gym shoe, soft shoe is fine, as long as you don't care if it falls apart, because it will be destroyed in the canyon. They just don't last. What to wear in the canyon? Most people will wear wetsuits in the canyon. I personally favour something with long legs because your legs will always be in the water and they tend to get cold. And also the long wetsuit legs protect your legs from being bumped on rocks and sticks and yabby attacks or whatever else you encounter in the waters where there's short johns and that. Your legs are always in the water and you get cold. I don't see the point of them. But canyons are different. Every canyon has different temperatures, and canyons like the Wild Gambia are pretty warm, and you're going to be floating most of the way, so you can get away with just a woolen jumper and a pair of shorts, but on a hot day. But that's the thing to remember, that water temperature is different in every canyon. Stuff you might want to consider taking with you is some sunblock, a hat, and a jumper. Even if it's a hot day, you sometimes can be very cold when you come out of a canyon. It's just nice to be able to put a jumper on and get warm. And if the weather does turn bad, as it happens sometimes up the mountains, it's good to have a jumper just to keep you warm on the walk out. Food. Food in a canyon, most people only eat at the start and the end of canyons. You generally get the munchies at the end of the canyon. You're all excited, you've done a lot of physical activity and you're excited you survived the canyon, so you're all pigging out on food. So it's nice to have some treats there, some chocolate or just something else. If you like me, Easter buns all year round, but it just depends on what you like. In canyons like the Falls or the Wild Gambias, there's lots of long sections which you either have to swim or float on. Floating is much easier, and you tend to use something like an inflatable air mattress or a surf mat. But these days people seem to be using a lot of pool toys, and the other week we were exiting out of Wunji Wunji and someone went buying a pink flamingo. So just remember, you've got to carry it in, carry it out and blow it up with your own lungs. So up to you. Right, this is going to be your first canyon, so you're supposedly going with someone who knows what they're doing, and hopefully that person has a first aid kit, and they do have a map. Even if they think they know what they're doing, it's good to ask them if they got a map and have a look at it, and just so you know where the entrance and exit points out, just in case something goes wrong. Otherwise, enjoy yourself.